So what are people meant to do? I mean, what are they meant to do if they don't like this? We're ignored. We are told that what we see with our eyes is not true. We're told that stories that happen every single day have not happened. And the crackdown always, again, is not on the illegal migrants. It's not on the rule breakers. The crackdown is always on the law-abiding citizens who start to feel they've had enough.
All right, there's not much to look forward to in Canada, but at least we're able to see what's coming. Welcome to the channel. If you could hit that like button and please consider subscribing. Today is just one clip from Sky News about what's happening in the UK and what we can expect to see in Canada down the road. I'll put a link to the full video in the description.
The UK, again, taking a similar approach to what we're going to be doing here in Australia, which is to target platforms like X, formerly Twitter, with massive fines if they don't censor users. So these platforms are either going to face financial ruin or they're going to have to censor people who are supposed to be living in a free country.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've already seen where this leads. Do you remember after three went across London Bridge in 2017, women's throats and shouting Allahu Akbar, the then British Prime Minister Theresa May gathered with all the great and the good, the Mayor of London and everyone else important, and talked about how we have to crack down on online content. It had nothing to do with online content. Look at the knife Axel Rubicana, who those three poor young girls in Southport last summer. Some of the media said things like he was the Amazon because he'd ordered the knife from Amazon. I mean, this is what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep blaming social media companies and online things because they can't deal with the real world. They can't deal with the real world problems, and they should.
I don't think it's that they can't deal with the real problems. It's that they don't want people to know that it's all part of a plan. We see it happen in the UK, Australia, Canada, and other countries, all following the exact same script. As always in Canada, we're just a little bit behind, and that is why Mark Carney was selected.
They should. Now, let's stay in the UK, and there appears to be a massive flaw in Keir Starmer's plans to tackle illegal immigration. The Sun reports illegal immigrants could dodge deportation under Labor's one-in, one-out swap deal with France by simply lodging human rights appeals. Douglas, the plan, which started yesterday, includes a clause where anyone making a human rights claim cannot be sent back until their case is heard in the courts. And as we know, that can take some time.
It'll just never happen, Rita. I'm willing to take a bet for any sum of money right now. It's just not going to happen. Keir Starmer, his Attorney General, Lord Hermer, all these people are baked in this industry, this heavily taxpayer-supported industry, whereby somebody breaks into the country illegally and then gets all the legal representation they need to cook up some bogus reason for why they're in the UK and why they've broken in. And there is such a backlog now in the UK, as in most other European countries. There's such a backlog that you could have all-night courts, you know, of the kind that were able to be put in place after the Southport riots, of course. But you could have all-night courts running for years, and you would still not sort out the backlog of the people who are already illegally in Britain. So the idea they're ever going to address with this scheme and this one-in, one-out fatuousness, the idea they're ever going to address this is for the birds. They are simply trying to placate the very significant and growing public concern about this. Because at some point you've got to ask, you know, most British taxpayers couldn't afford to live in a hotel at their own expense night after night. So why are they paying for people who've broken into the country to live in those hotels night after night? Why are we running up billions of dollars a year in housing people who've broken all the rules? I mean, at some point, something has to give. But I suppose Starmer and Hermer and co. just hope it won't happen on their watch.
It's obvious this is intentional. There are no positives for mass immigration. It only causes destruction, yet they are forcing it and pretending that these problems don't exist. It really is sad that all these countries don't even resemble what they once were.
It is an absurd situation where you've got a significant percentage of the British public who are living in what we're called is energy poverty. They don't have enough money to effectively heat their homes in winter, cool them in summer. And yet you've got people breaking into the country, enjoying a standard of living that a lot of Brits could only dream of in four-star hotels. Now, this is an interesting revelation in the Times. From a police commissioner, Donna Jones, who says a government minister, she doesn't name which minister, pressured her over a statement she made suggesting mass uncontrolled immigration was a factor behind last summer's riots. The minister told her, no, you're wrong. The riots had nothing whatsoever to do with immigration.
They just won't admit it, will they? They'll never, ever admit it. Because if they were to admit it, they'd have to take responsibility. And that's the last thing that these politicians want to do. They never want to take responsibility. They push everything under the rug. They will point to anything other than the causes of the problem. Yes, there is significant and growing dissent in the UK, as in so many other countries, about the feeling that taxpayers have that they're basically being taken advantage of, that they are they are having the mickey taken out of them by rule breakers, having all these advantages and all these disadvantages accruing to the people who are already here. And it's just so obvious. It's happened in recent weeks with the protests in Epping. Now we have the situation where the illegal migrants who are being housed in the so-called migrant hotel in Epping were moved. They were moved to a place called Canary Wharf, a very rich area of London's financial district. And they were moved there. And first of all, the police and the authorities said to people, don't speculate on where they're going. There's no evidence that they're going to this hotel. Lo and behold, they were going to that hotel in Canary Wharf. What was the reaction? Some locals then protested there as well. And then the police issued an order saying you can't protest there.
Every riot, every protest happening over there is directly because of not immigration, but mass immigration. They specifically say that. The mainstream media just doesn't report on it. And like they just said, they try to silence people who speak up against it. The police are also to blame. I know they are just doing what they're told, but that's the problem. They will do what they are told, right or wrong, for money. And that's a scary thing.
So what are people meant to do? I mean, what are they meant to do if they don't like this? We're ignored. We are told that what we see with our eyes is not true. We're told that stories that happen every single day have not happened. And the crackdown always, again, is not on the illegal migrants. It's not on the rule breakers. The crackdown is always on the law-abiding citizens who start to feel they've had enough.
What are we to do? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Is there anything that can even be done at this point? Are we too far gone? That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.